Weapons of mass distraction. That's what dogs are. What is with distraction? Well, constant distractions can be unhealthy as they can lead to decreased concentration, increased anxiety, negative impacts on mental health. Over time, they can create a cycle of dependency on distractions. Dog owners are dependent on the distractions that their dogs bring them. Have you ever wondered why a dog owner just is absolutely stupidly ignorant to their dog barking? They're used to it. They're sitting in their house. The dog barks at something. What is it, buddy? What is it? What is it? Is it a bad person? Oh, in their mind, it's helping them. They're getting this spike of stress hormone, this spike of cortisol. Yeah, barking boosts your cortisol. If you read one of these studies I'm going to have available right here, it mentions that. And another problem that this brings, this addiction to the distraction, it prevents effective coping with underlying issues. Yeah, your dog's barking all day and it's causing problems for everybody. Yeah, you're not going to bother coping with it because you're freaking addicted to it or anything else that your dog is doing. But this is even worse because this is a huge effect on society. It's like I said, this is weapons of mass distraction. It's like Robin Williams said in a movie that I'll put in the description too. So dogs themselves, they are easily distracted, constantly barking, running. We spend all this money on training. It says here you need to train them to focus amidst distractions, which basically means they give the dogs treats. Yeah. So why would I mention that dogs are easily distracted? Everybody knows that. Like, that's common freaking knowledge. Because being around creatures that are distracted increases your own distractions. Their behavior draws your attention away from tasks. This is a very, very important part of the dog culture discussion. As a human, what is your task? As an American, what is your task? Take care of your fellow human. Take care of your offspring. Pay your taxes. Do your job. Obey the law. You know, your tasks that give back to society, your tasks that give back to your family. Guess what you're doing instead of doing those tasks? You're running around being distracted by a dog. What does the dog want? What does the dog need? Oh, my kids, my family. Well, they're not quite as important as the dog. Every day in America, dogs are more labeled as family instead of property. They're more labeled as family instead of just the high dollar taxpayer hobby that they are. Dogs that don't pay property taxes benefit from your property taxes. Hint, hint, hint. Constant police calls. So, like it says here, this can create a challenging environment for maintaining focus and productivity. Yeah, how can you be a good human to your fellow humans when you're too busy just being distracted all the time? You know, first off, you own a dog, so that's a distraction. Now the dog is distracted, so you're distracted. Dog owners act like this all the time. Sitting in their house, the dog looks out the window. What is it, buddy? What is it? What is it? They just smelled a cat turd, or somebody drove by with french fries in their car. You know, it's nothing special at all. And, like, who cares? Who cares what a dog's distracted by? If it's that freaking dumb, then just get it out of your life. It's just dragging you down. And so let's look at this a little deeper. Guess what? Constant distraction can lower your IQ and concentration levels. Research has shown that interruptions, such as emails and phone calls, can lead to a significant drop in cognitive performance, even comparable to using cannabis. So this is actually a big discussion, this thing about distractions and IQ levels. And of course they're going to blame your cell phone or social media and stuff like that. They're not going to tell you about all the distractions that dogs bring to your life. They're just going to talk about your phones. But what are people freaking doing on their phones all day? Looking at dogs, posting pictures of their dog, posting up videos of their kid getting knocked over by the dog in the backyard, and hundreds of people are laughing about it. So it's not just electronic stuff. It's these dogs too. They're a constant freaking distraction. And this is another reason why I always compare dog culture to some of the regimes, the communist regimes, because they use distractions such as propaganda and state controlled media to divert the public attention from political repression and economic issues. That's like your typical dog owner. Oh, I don't care about politics. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I just care about my dog. Well, you're broke. Well, your vet bill is way too expensive. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I just, whatever. They just want to do stuff to please their dog. If the money they spend on a dog related product is a product that comes from China or a product that is owned by people that are not good people, they don't care. They'll blow the money on it. They'll go broke, you know? So yeah, dog culture is a major form of diverting our public attention from things that we should be paying attention to. And I got a really good example of that coming up here in just a few moments. So we have police officers. Police officers are often dispatched for dog related problems. Aggressive dogs or stray dogs are a part of this, or a dog poses a threat to public safety. Uh, Texas, constant pit bull attacks in Texas. However, the frequency and nature of these incidents can vary widely depending on blah, 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 blah. Notice one of the sources for this summary is Texas. Texas right now, in the past couple decades, more and more people getting thrown into the hospital because of pit bull attacks, or even thrown 6 feet under. So, while all these police officers funded by your property taxes, even if you rent a house, that rent goes to property taxes. We live in communities with unsolved crimes, missing children, battered women, abused veterans, abused grandmothers, property crimes, stolen materials, drug problems, child trafficking. And if you're a police officer being dispatched to one of these hundreds and thousands of calls for stupid dogs because dog owners themselves are too distracted, well, you're distracted too. Your sergeant or your lieutenant or your mayor or your chief of police is probably looking for some information about a whole lot of terrible property crimes or crimes on humanity that are going on. But you're too distracted screwing around with dogs to notice any of the clues from the neighborhood. Even if you're not officially part of like an investigation of a murder or missing children, as you drive around the community and do traffic stops and notice things in the neighborhood, you might notice some clues that could lead to the arrest of one of the kidnappers or one of the murderers. But you're too distracted screwing around with these dogs that you shouldn't have to screw around with as a police officer. Owners should be responsible for their dogs, and people that are being attacked and killed by dogs should be allowed to defend themselves. And that's another reason that I bring up Texas in this conversation. You can see I have a source here from Texas. Texas is all about open carry, we defend ourselves, yet they don't allow their citizens to defend themselves against all these crazy dog attacks that they have. And so, like I said, it's a weapon of mass distraction. Our police are constantly being distracted by stupid dog problems that they shouldn't have to be. And these dogs, remember, they don't pay property taxes, they don't pay sales taxes, they don't pay into the police officers. All of society does. So it's also a nationwide weight on all the taxpayers, along with this mass distraction. So that's my example of how dog culture just distracts everybody. I can do examples from many other services that you pay for as a taxpayer. They're being diverted and distracted away from you as a human because they're serving dogs. So that has been a look at the weapons of mass distraction that are being wielded against your fellow Americans and your fellow police officers. So what are you going to do about it? Speaking of distractions, we got to give a shout out to repetitive noise. That's what dog barking is. It can have negative health effects. One of the main distractions of dog owners and dogs is repetitive noise. Dog owners constantly yelling at their dogs to come back, get over here, stop it, knock it off. And the dog's barking. And it causes problems like anxiety and other stuff like that, and depression. Yep. So watch out for these weapons of mass distraction. Stay focused on your fellow humans and not dogs. See you guys later.